don't fade out. He keeps going, you know. He keeps going, you know. So it's just one of those things like, you have to walk into the arena and just become a demon, do you understand? And just go with that. Don't even doubt yourself, just go with it.
That's a dreadful fight for Moses Itauma. I just think to throw this kid into the wolves at this stage so early in his career, I just don't get what for. He's a young man, let him develop the same as every other fighter, let him learn his trade.
Moses, so he could look at people like him, he could look at George Joyce, he could look at all those guys that are just on the fringe, just to say, right, now you're ready, off you go, see if you can get it in before you're 21 years old. And so Moses has got everything in his favour. Yeah, then people are going to get all getting excited. Put him
Daniel Dubois, how are you getting on with Daniel, by the way? Do you even speak much? Like, how's it go?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually surprised. He's completely different to what he portrays, like what people think he actually is. Like, no, I was.
Derek Chisora exploded with frustration when the conversation turned to Moses Itauma versus Daniel Dubois. His voice carried the kind of raw, unfiltered passion that has defined his entire career. Chisora has never been one to sugarcoat his thoughts, and this time was no different. His words cut through the noise, laying bare a reality.
24 years old, who's got his always faculties right, getting trained by one of the best trainers in the United Kingdom, and then mate, it's like you got more chance of winning the lottery than you beating that Moses Itauma.
Many in the boxing world already whisper. To Chisora, Moses looks miles ahead of Dubois, sharper, hungrier, technically superior, and mentally tougher. Itauma isn't just talented. He's better schooled, built for the elite stage. Chisora's words stung because they rang true. He sees Dubois as having lottery odds of pulling off an upset, a slim, almost miraculous chance. Moses, on the other hand, carries an aura of inevitability.
Get to elite level, you can't get away with it. I don't think Daniel has the capability, strength in regards to talking to his dad or standing up to his dad or standing up to that setup. I don't think he has the strength to do that, and which is why it will always hold him back. You got to look. This is personal business, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. Caroline, she, as far as I know, she doesn't work with her dad.
The look of a man destined for greatness. But Chisora wasn't the only one speaking bluntly. Johnny Nelson, never afraid to deliver harsh truths, took the discussion to a deeper, more psychological level. He didn't question Dubois's power or his chin, the attributes that brought.
This fight's just gone took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
It's going to be huge.
There's 135,000 people on a waiting list.
Yeah, Eddie Hearns tweeted that.
It only brought him success, but rather something far more critical. His inner strength. Nelson raised doubts about Dubois's independence, about his ability to stand on his own when the spotlight burns brightest. At the highest level of boxing, physical gifts are not enough. Fighters need to control their careers, their mentality, and their inner circle. Nelson's point was devastating. If Dubois can't even break free from the pressure.
Count of 10, and he walked straight past you, straight to the corner, he was completely fine. I think, and you know what, it's horrific to say I've quit. It's not horrific to say I'm quit. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway, he quit, yeah.
And influence of those around him. How can he possibly overcome a force like Moses Itauma? Then came Tony Bellew, whose words carried the weight of experience. Bellew framed the matchup as far more than just another heavyweight clash. To him, this is a generational spectacle, the kind of event that captures public imagination and electrifies the sport.
Moses Itauma, who looks absolutely extraordinary, and for me he ticked all the boxes. I like his attitude, I like his style, southpaw, hard-hitting, moves so well. He's going to be very, very difficult to sort of deter. So it's an interesting one because, yeah, is this too soon for Moses, or is this just the right...
You summed it up perfectly. Dubois enters the ring carrying the burden of his past losses, past doubts, past criticisms. Moses steps forward carrying the promise of the future, ready to take the division by storm. The pressure on Dubois is suffocating. For Moses, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. When the subject of pressure came up, Dave Allen wasted no time delivering his unfiltered opinion. Allen, known for never pulling punches with his words, reminded everyone of the shadow still looming over Dubois's career, the Alexander Usyk fight. In Allen's view, Dubois quit that night, While some fans debate whether the criticism is fair, Allen's point was clear. That moment has haunted Dubois ever since. Against a relentless, hungry fighter like Moses, quitting cannot be an option. If Dubois is...
We're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll...
Spirit cracks again. This fight won't just be another loss. It will be a career-defining collapse. The kind of defeat that cements his reputation as a man who couldn't handle the heat when it mattered most. Adam Smith, one of British boxing's sharpest voices, broke the fight down with precision. Moses, he explained, isn't just a good prospect. He's the complete package. A slick southpaw with heavy hands, sharp footwork, remarkable composure, and a champion's mindset. The only lingering question Smith posed was one of timing. Is Dubois stepping into the ring with a rising star too soon, facing someone whose trajectory is unstoppable? Or is this the perfect storm? The moment Moses explodes onto the world stage. Even Moses himself admits he's still learning.
Moses is one of the best young fighters boxing has seen in years. And I'm not just saying that based on a result over deal. You know, I hope you understand that when I look at a fighter, I'm looking at things that others don't see. I'm not looking at the hype. I'm looking at what he does in the ring, how he does it, his skill set. You know, I'm looking at that because that's the important stuff. And right now, to me, he's shown probably
openly embracing the grind and the wars of attrition that shape prospects into champions. That humility is telling. It reflects a fighter who understands levels, who recognizes there's more to gain and more to master. Moses welcomes challenges, knowing they will forge him into the fighter he's meant to be. The contrast with Dubois couldn't be clearer. Moses speaks of growth and development, while Dubois often offers excuses for his shortcomings. Moses is building himself into a champion brick by brick, while Dubois is still trying to prove he belongs. Veteran trainer Russ Anber, a man who has seen countless world champions rise and fall, focused on the details casual fans often miss: footwork, timing, subtle adjustments. And what he sees in Moses is frightening potential. Anber's verdict was powerful. Moses possesses a...
But he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think he's got a good team around him, Ben Davison and Lee Wiley is the brains that study everything. And they use what we call video analysis now in boxing. They're the one team that...
generational skill set. While others debate his age or lack of experience, Anber sees a fighter who already outshines most of the heavyweight division. In stark contrast, Dubois has earned a reputation for being reckless, predictable, and mentally fragile. When Anber calls Moses one of the best young fighters he's seen in years, it's not empty praise. It's a warning to the rest of the division. Bellew reinforced this warning. Having experienced the highs and lows of elite boxing, he knows exactly what it takes to survive and thrive at the top. His praise for Moses isn't casual flattery, it's recognition of something rare. Bellew's only initial concern was Moses' size, but that disappeared when he compared him to Alexander Usyk. If Usyk with a smaller frame could conquer the heavyweight division, why not Moses? In Bellew's eyes, Moses isn't just talented, he's the future. The contrast with Dubois is glaring. Dubois is haunted by doubts.
Or he might knock him out, I don't know. But personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing. And I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
Whispers of fragility and ghosts of past failures. Moses is being positioned as the heir to the throne. Even Eddie Hearn, a master of timing and calculated risk, understands the magnitude of this fight. At just 20 years old, most fighters are carefully matched and shielded from dangerous tests. But Moses isn't like most fighters. Hearn knows the stakes. Throw a young fighter into deep waters too soon, and the risk of derailment is massive. Yet with Moses, the feeling persists that he's ready now. That's the dilemma. Do you protect him or unleash him? Dubois' path offers a cautionary tale. His career was carefully managed, with opponents chosen to build his record. But when the bright lights shone brightest, he crumbled. The contrast is striking. For Moses, the only question is when to crown him as the next great heavyweight. For Dubois, the question is whether his career...
Let's get that right. However, the intrigue that surrounds his fight, I've got young kids in my gym that are going to be tuning into this
Three
fight.
generations are going to watch it, aren't they? That's what's great.
I mean, they're so excited about it.
Career can be salvaged at all. Finally, Duke McKenzie put it all into perspective. This fight, he said, isn't just about titles or rankings. It's about generations colliding. It's the kind of bout that gets kids buzzing in gyms and families debating around the dinner table. Dubois represents the old guard, desperately trying to prove he still matters. Moses represents the new era, the future of the division, and perhaps the sport itself. When the first bell rings, it won't just be a fight, it will be a passing of the torch. For Dubois, victory would mean redemption. For Moses, it could mark the birth of a legend. When casual fans start talking about a fighter around dinner tables, you know it's more than just boxing. It's a cultural moment. That's the kind of impact Moses Itauma has already made. At just 20 years old, he's igniting excitement across all demographics, something Daniel Dubois has never managed to achieve. Dubois' story has been one of missed opportunities.
Last chance saloon for him. He needs the victory here. So, look, we find out just how good Moses Itauma is, I think, on the 16th of August when he boxes Dillian Whyte, because I think he wins it and wins it in style. But everyone they put in front of him so far, he's just dismantled. I think this kid's going to go on and win.
Opportunities and shattered belief. A career marked by promise unfulfilled. Moses, on the other hand, has the aura of a future superstar, a fighter with the potential to transcend the sport itself. Spencer Oliver didn't just predict a Moses victory, he predicted a Moses showcase. That's a bold statement, suggesting this won't be a close, hard-fought battle, but rather a defining performance, a night where Moses stamps his authority on the heavyweight division. For Dubois, that possibility should be terrifying. Every time the pressure has mounted in Dubois's career, he has faltered. For Moses, expectation isn't a burden, it's fuel. Oliver believes this is the night Moses doesn't just win, but announces himself as the next great heavyweight. Even Amir Khan, who understands the dangers of being thrown into the spotlight too early, urged caution. His message was clear: don't rush Moses. Let him grow. Let him peak at the right time. But even Khan admitted
You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old. That's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him.
The buzz surrounding Moses is unlike anything boxing has seen in years. At 20, most heavyweights are anonymous prospects, fighting quietly in the shadows. Moses, however, is already being mentioned alongside the likes of Usyk, Joshua, Wilder, and Fury. That alone speaks volumes about the level of talent he possesses. Fans are hungry for the big fights now, and while patience may be wise, it feels inevitable that Moses's rise cannot be delayed forever. This fight is about more than two men trading punches. It's about pride, pressure, and the future of British boxing. Moses Itauma enters as the fearless prodigy, just 20 years old, but carrying himself like a man destined to rule the heavyweight division. His slick southpaw style, precision timing, and calm demeanor scream greatness. Daniel Dubois, meanwhile, carries the crushing weight of expectation, haunted by past failures, and the lingering stigma of quitting when it mattered most. If Moses wins, it will send a thunderous message to the entire division. The new era